Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys a little tour, particularly the melon kingdom. I'm not gonna be touring my entire garden, but I'm just gonna show you like what I'll be specializing in moving forward. I mean, I've already harvested about 5 watermelons, so I figured I'd put this on camera before I don't have anything to show you guys. But so first I want to start with, this is basically where this is a fig tree right here, okay? And I cut this down to a stump, literally down to a stump, which was like probably this tall off the ground. I didn't think I was gonna get any figs this year, and I actually have figs growing on like all the branches, which is crazy. I mean, it's surprising and a very, very beautiful thing. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy about that. Last year I got a lot of figs, but then I was starting to get a little bit of those vine borers, so I cut it down to a stump. And I mean, it's crazy how it just comes back, and you know, they say you don't get it until the year after, but I happen to get it this year. So that's pretty good. This is basically where the melons would end, because they basically trellising from all the way over there and even from this bed and coming down this way, and pretty much spreading out this way. I'm gonna just let them spread out as whatever they need to do. But I've got a lot of melons, and basically I'm gonna be doing a 5-day watermelon fast eventually when I get these melons. I've already got 5. I've been eating them here and there, and I love them. They taste really good. Here's one right there. As you walk down, there's a few more melons. These aren't ripe yet. You could always tell by the tendril at the end of the vine. I'll show you when I get to another one, because I don't want to disturb the vines there, but because I would have to go in there with my feet, and I need 2 hands. But you know, this was full of melons. I already harvested a few melons from here, and then you know, there's still some melons forming, as you can see. Okay, and then you know, here's another melon. There's another watermelon over here, and there's another one right there, another one over there. So I mean, these vines are doing very, very good. They've given me some nice, beautiful what's up, Mr. Grasshopper? Some nice watermelons. This is where I was going to tell you, this is where basically you could see if they're ripe or not. You could tell by if you thump them or not, but a lot of people may not know how to do that. So you basically look at the point at where it's connected, and they have this tendril. When this tendril gets brown and crinkly all the way down to the bottom, you know that this is ripe, because that is still green. You know what I'm saying? But this has to be brown and you know, crusty and whatnot. This one looks like it's just about ready. As you can see, look at this one. You see, so you can see the tendril on this one. You see this? See how it's starting to, see how it's like brown at the tips? You see it? When it goes brown all the way down to the bottom, to where it's basically connected, that's how you know this is ripe. And you can already hear that it's almost ripe. So this is a beautiful watermelon little trail. So I basically started it from this bed over here. Those are my compost bins. I've got 7 along the back. I got 2 here, 2 here. So that's what makes it possible for these plants to look phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So I basically started the watermelons at the end of this bed right here, and I made sure that as they were growing I heavily mulched, because if not, you'll start to get black end rot, and it'll be a problem with calcium utilization to the fruit. So as you can see, this looks like if it was in nature. You know what I'm saying? A lot of organic matter on top. I have a friend who has a tree company, and he brings me some broken down wood chips already anytime I ask for them. So from here they basically come all the way out, okay, and extend all the way down there, and then that's pineapple sage there, and this is a blackberry. I got a lot of blackberries, by the way. But anyway, on this bed right here, as you can see, I built this this trellis. Look at this trellis I built. You see this? And the vines are actually loving it, because they are climbing up. And last year I grew them on the ground, these cantaloupes and honeydew, which I got planted over here, and they got some worms that got into them. I mean, the melons were edible, but I had to like cut out the piece that had the worm in it. But as you can see, they're hanging fruit now, and because they're hanging fruit, they're not going to get those worms inside them. and then the ones that are at the bottom, because you're always going to get some at the bottom, I basically put cardboard along with the wood chips and whatnot. I heavily mulched it. This one's sitting on top of a wood block. See that? And then, you know what I'm saying, as you walk in, you'll see a bunch of melons, especially when you look inside. But I don't know if the camera can catch this, but see, there's melons basically all along the inside. There's hanging fruit all along the inside. I really love this little design I did. I think it really improved, you know, the quality and the quality of the vines in particular as well. I mean, you can see they have tendrils, and hey, what's up, Mr. Grasshopper again? But as you can see, you see how they grab on? They grab on and then they start to climb up. So they're climbing their way up, and this is a very tall trellis. And the higher they go up, the better, because the fruits hang. So let me show you from this angle right here. So there's, you know, some melons forming here. There's a lot of melons forming here actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So there's 5 melons here. There's another pretty one here. You can actually see, I need 2 hands for this, but hold up. Let me see if I can show you. Quality is much better. As you can see, there's no holes in them. There's no pests, and I don't use any kind of chemicals. There's another melon growing there. So you see, as you see, these right here look like they're trying to come out and grab and climb up on this corn, which I don't mind, because last year some of the vines climbed up on the corn. That's how I figured that they like to climb. So I was able to see that just by having corn last year. And then the melons close to it, they climbed up even on the blackberry plants, which I'm gonna tell you right now, I pulled out so much blackberries out of this. I think I pulled out like 75 pounds of berries, and it's beautiful because you know, these right here are basically, I think they're ready. You know what I'm saying? This plant looks like it's about to get tired. This one probably got at the end of the day I pick them though. As the red ones are turning black, right, you always have those little flowers forming. So this is an everyday thing that you got to pick these out, because if not, you got little bugs and beetles that when the berries or the fruit is ripe, they like to start picking on it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you get out there before they do that. So, you know, it's basically walking the garden every day a little bit, and just see, like this one right here, this is ready, and you can see the blackberries are so, like, it's got a little red there, and this little red, I mean, sometimes they're a little sour when they look like that, but they taste good like that. Look good. So you see, I use these cardboards right here to lay on the ground first, and then I throw the wood chips on top. So it's kind of like that no dig method, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been doing all along. I mean, you can see this looks like the forest over here. See this? This is like the forest. I have this set up where it's all organic matter on top. You know what I'm saying? And it makes the plants a lot more vigorous and healthy. I'm gonna set this up next year for it to be a lot neater. I do have a lot of plants in pots this year, because you know, just in case I need to move things around, or just move in general, like myself. So, you know, I got stuff that I can carry with me if I have to. But I'm going to show you guys one more little melon kingdom I have. But before I do, I'll just probably walk you through whatever I can walk by. Like this one's my melon tree, and you can see it's already giving me a couple of lemons, sorry. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 melon plants or trees. This one right here is an avocado, as you can see, and I started this from seed. I got 4 of those, and last year I did way too many tomatoes. And the reason I actually like to do this is because I get to see the difference from last year's garden to this year's garden. So this is my little seating area. I've got the cannabis plants there, but they're not always there. When somebody wants to sit down, I take that out. But I mean, so I got the old canes, I already took them out. They already got tired, but we were literally picking out blackberries from the vines as we were sitting there, and I thought that was pretty cool. But another beautiful thing here is that these canes are pretty much growing really large, and I want it to look where it's gonna be basically covering this section. So like if I sit there, it'll give me privacy of nothing but the vines just covering me there. You know what I'm saying? So this one looks like it's about ready. You see how beautiful they are? Yeah, they look good. My little red ones there. So we look at the fig tree. Now, before I go anywhere, I want to show you guys my my tree that I'm very proud of, and I probably put this on every video that I do when it comes to gardening. But you see, this is my walkway. Okay, like that big ass sunflower right there. Here's my papaya tree. I started from seed. Last year I actually got papayas from it, and I put it in pots because they don't survive frost. My banana tree. This one's one of the pups because I got a big banana tree down there. Here's my other avocado. And then here you have a couple of rogue papaya trees that just came out of nowhere on this pot. And it could have been that the seeds were in the compost, but when I saw that, I had to very carefully take them out. And look, I transplanted them here, so now I got 3 new papaya trees. And then here's my other papaya tree, looking phenomenal and beautiful. See, along with some cannabis right here, looking phenomenal as well. And then these beautiful purple peppers that I need to harvest these today. Alright, so let me show you guys real quick the apple before I get to the melon part. Oh, before I do that, let me show you the little fairy kingdom I got over here. You see that? Yeah, that's the little fairy kingdom. Here's a new avocado I got germinating. See that? This is avocado. Alright, so back to this tree right here. Every time I come out, I sit here. This is my tree. I remember I was eating an apple, and I took the seed out and I planted it there. And ever since then, I mean, you can see 3 years later, this is what you get. You get this beautiful giant tree. You know what I'm saying? And this is not the only one. I've got 3 apple trees that I started from seed. I also have a pear tree and a peach tree, but those I didn't start from seed. So in those I know I'm gonna get true fruit. This one right here, I don't know what kind of fruit I'm gonna get, because you know everything's genetically modified, but I may get an even better fruit than the actual Granny Smith. But I know it's not gonna be a true Granny Smith apple, but it is definitely gonna, most likely, I actually am betting on the fact that it's gonna be a much better, stronger fruit. But here's another crazy thing that I love, is that the trunk, you see how it's braided? I remember when the plant was maybe like up to here, I was supposed to basically prune it and have one main trunk, but I didn't do that, and I let it grow too big, and I was actually not wanting to cut it because then it's gonna look like half a tree. So I basically I did some research, and I saw that you can actually have 2 main trunks on an apple tree. So I basically braided it, and ever since I did that, I mean, the tree has taken off, and it's looked lovely. You know what I'm saying? So you can actually see you know, the thickness of the trunk already. So it looks good. There's actually a while, and this is another thing. Sometimes we get, like last year I had cannabis plants I was growing. A seed may have gotten off somewhere, but you can see this is actually a very, very large cannabis plant growing over here. See, this is literally my height. You see this? I'm not gonna cut it. I'm just gonna let it do what it needs to do. Kind of like a wild weed, or see what they do if they were in the wild. I don't know if it's male or female. Looks like it might be female, but we'll see what happens. All right. Let me show you the other melon kingdom, and then I'll close off on that. I've pulled out a lot of cucumbers from this, by the way, which I know I gotta pull out some right now. It's got some cucumbers hanging over there. Pulled out a lot of blueberries out of this, and I've been making juices because I got so many blackberries and blueberries that we've been making juices out of them. They're my son's favorite fruit. Mine is blackberries, his is blueberries. So that's what I grew a lot of. And we got some more coming in, but I pulled out a ton over here. And then a ton of blueberries out of this one. All 4 different varieties actually. So, oh, look at this. This is a mango tree. that I started from seed. I have 2 of them. Here's the other one. So 2 mango trees. This is an apple tree. I started from seed, and I actually I let this spread down here, and I actually think it was a great idea because it actually mulches this really, really well. So, and here's my main banana tree I was telling you about. So I took out, you see how you got little pups? I can have multiple banana trees, which is what I did. I took out 1 banana tree over there, and I'm going to take out these when they get a little bit bigger. I take those out and put them in separate pots, and then I'll have more banana trees. Alright, so last year I grew way too many tomatoes, so this is all I'm going to have of tomatoes this year. This is the big beefsteak tomatoes, looking really, really nice, along with this weed that I grew last year, and I don't know what it is, but it grows some really beautiful flowers. This grows really tall, and then, you know, it attracts the hummingbirds. And then these are the grape tomatoes. And by the way, these are from last year's plants. So this was actually from the seed right here. And this was from a sucker, because I wanted to make sure that I got 2 different variety of tomatoes. I'm not going to eat that much tomatoes, so this is all I pretty much got on the tomato family. So next year I'm going to be specializing, or moving forward, I'm going to be specializing in basically melons, particularly watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, grapes, and berries. That's what I'm going to be focusing on, because that's what I eat a lot of. I don't really eat greens that much. So so here's another one of those pretty weed plants that I don't know what it is, but I got that in the middle of a crown of a mix of cantaloupe and honeydew. And then I put these trellises up, and as you can see, they are climbing up, and I've got some fruit forming there. This is a big fruit. This one happened to be on the ground, but I wanted it on the I wanted it above ground, so I put this pot over here with this cardboard, and it's keeping it elevated, and it's doing very well. And I've got another fruit forming there. Got another little one over there. I don't remember where the other ones were, but I know I got about 7 melons growing on this. Let me show it to you from a different angle. As you can see, it looks really, really nice. Look at the overview of everything. So that's a grape that I started from seed, and I'm actually going to show you what the mother plant of that is. This is lemongrass. This right here, look how beautiful this looks. So this was actually very small last year, and I actually built this trellis over here like I did for the melons. See that? And I'm training the vines to basically grab onto the trellis. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, they wrap themselves around. But look at the amount of grapes that I got, basically on all the vines. You know what I'm saying? So it's looking really good. So this is good. Now I pulled out one of the grapes last year, and I took the seeds and I germinated it, and this is what I got. So you see this? This is actually from a germinated grape seed. And these right here, these are muscadines right here. I actually have 2 plants. Here's my other one. Look how great it looks. I just started this one, so I'm gonna have a lot of grapes. Here's another avocado that I started from seed. It's actually got the second main trunk growing. I never even pruned this yet, but I'm not gonna prune it yet. I got another little tomato plant over here. These happen to be the patio tomatoes, so these are the smaller ones. But yeah, that's basically, like I said, all I'm gonna have on tomatoes. But these are the patio. I really love the taste of patio tomatoes, so that's why I actually, and that's from last year's sucker as well. What was I at? Oh yeah, so here's my other grape vine right here. I built this trellis for it. Okay, it's a very nice strong support. Okay, and as you can see, this is a very young plant, so you know, the years down the road I'm going to be getting a lot of fruit, but for now I think it's giving me a cute little amount of grapes, and they're actually starting to ripen up. As you can see, they're turning purple. And I got another grapevine on the other side of the property, and it looks good. I mean, I love it. So this is basically what I'm going to be focusing on: grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, grapes. But I got a lot more things that I have growing, like all different type of herbs. I've got you know, I've even got dragon fruit growing. I've got more apple seeds. I got corn. Got this wild bramble. Now let me tell you something. The blackberries from like the wild thorned brambles are completely different than those gigantic juicy thornless ones that we get. These are actually a lot more sour, but they are so good. Like you can make jams out of them, and you can do many different things with them, you know. So this one is my wild bramble one. They spread wildly. I had to put gloves on to prune it, but you can see I keep them nice and clean on the bottom. And then most of the time when you go to the woods or the forest, you'll see them that the leaves are all brown and crinkly and whatnot. These are actually very, very healthy and green because of the soil, because of the mulch, and because I have them cleanly pruned. Like I cut out all the canes that were in the middle, but I mean you can't pitch these because you see these thorns. Oh my goodness, deadly. They're so spiky. So let me show you the zigzag tree from last year. If you guys saw my garden tour last year, you'll see I had a zigzag tree. I got another melon over here, by the way. I forgot to tell you that I actually have another bed growing over here, and I've got a pretty melon here and another one forming down there. These are my other lemon trees. I had to redo these, and the reason why is because last year I left all my lemon, I keep saying melon, but lemon trees outside thinking that they would survive frost, and they didn't. And they were actually very, very large. The only one I have that survived was the one that I showed you before in the video. But you see these right here, this is grapefruit, lemons, and then mandarin. And then this is also a mandarin right here. So, and then corn. My son and I, we've been eating a hell of a lot of corn. How do you like the corn?
Well, we can make popcorn over it.
Popcorn, yeah. But you like the berries?
Yeah.
Yeah, the berries are good. I love the corn. Well, you can't eat the corn because your teeth are loose. Your front teeth are loose, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I put mulch all along this. I've got some more blackberries. So my son and I, he helped me pick out so many blackberries that grew all along that wall until it became very hard to get in there, because I got these sunflowers that came in that I didn't even plant. That was probably from last year's seeds, and you know, they grew, and then I couldn't get to them anymore. So, but this bed is, I'm prepped it up for next year. I didn't have this bed. See, I didn't plant anything on it this year because what I did was I put compost underneath with manure. Then I put cardboard, and then I put the wood chips, and then I put these wood blocks on top so that, you know, things don't fly out. But let me show you what it looks like before it turns into, look how deep and this is deep, you know what I'm saying? This is very deep. All right, you can actually, oh no, that's not even it. Let me get to a spot where I can actually see it. I don't even know, remember. All right, here we go. Look at that. See how this is cardboard? All right, underneath there is compost. And then I put the wood chips on top. And then put that on top, the wood and all those little pieces so that they don't fly out. But here's my other apple tree from seed. My pear tree. I know I said I wasn't going to do a tour, but whatever. And here's my other little cannabis plant. Yeah, I think I'll end it here. Here's the zigzag tree, by the way, before we do cut out. This tree started like this big, and I'm so proud of this. It was growing like in the middle of the grass. It's either it would get chopped off with the lawnmower, but this is zigzag tree. But we'll talk soon.